Senator Rudy and Ellen Boschwitz arrived in Minnesota in 1963, where Rudy opened his business, Plywood, Minnesota. It didn't take long before they had met Rabbi and Mrs. Moshe and Mindy Feller and had become friends and supporters of Lubavitch. 15 years later, Rudy successfully ran for U.S. Senate, where he served from 1978 until 1991. In his distinguished career as senator, Rudy served on the Agriculture, Foreign Affairs, Budget, Small Business, and Veterans Committees. After being appointed to a Senate leadership position by his colleagues, Rudy sat in on bi-weekly meetings with President Reagan. Throughout his years in both business and politics, Rudy and Ellen remained steadfast supporters of Lubavitch and the Lubavitch Cheder Day School. The Fellers had introduced the Boschwitzes to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, who had a demanding yet inspiring message for them.
Very much for the theme of the Rambam. As I heard from Rabbi Feller. It was very successful, and certainly you influenced many people around you. Then, and also now, everyone will read about your speech and about your participation. And I hope that will add in your appetite to do all these things many times more.
The Rebbe, when we went to his office, my wife and I, always talked about starting Jewish schools for children, talked about education, that it meant, of course, that the future of our people is with our children, and that they have to be educated in Jewish matters, Jewish law, if our religion is to continue.
Rudy and Ellen took the Rebbe's message to heart. In Washington, showing his passion for Jewish education and continuity, they galvanized and hosted events with as many as 1,500 young Jewish men and women. The senator opened many a door for Lubavitch in Minnesota and across the country in his efforts to bolster Jewish education. For more than 50 years, no matter where in the world they have been stationed, whether in Washington, D.C., or in Ethiopia as President Bush's emissary, or Geneva as the United States ambassador to the United Nations Human Rights Commission. The Boschwitzes have always been true friends of Lubavitch and the Cheder, not only through their own support, but by influencing and encouraging others to join in their efforts to keep it thriving. Tonight, the Lubavitch Cheder and Chabad Lubavitch institutions throughout Minnesota pay tribute to 4 decades of selfless dedication and commitment to Jewish education, Jewish continuity, and Jewish pride. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Senator Rudy and Ellen Boschwitz.